This is our narrowboat home. We live aboard full-time, cruising the inland waterways of the UK. We've taken a little break from our regular cruising videos to show you the canal reopening after weeks and weeks of being closed. Morning, boy. It's very early for you, isn't it? Boy. We're up early, aren't we? There's our old boy Hamish, and at 16 and a half he spends most of the day sleeping, on the sofa or up on deck with us. But he still loves to get off and explore when we get to wherever we're going. So before we set off on day 2 of the canal reopening, let's take a quick look back at day 1, with a short recap of the video I put out last week. After weeks and weeks of closures due to low water levels, the South Oxford Canal finally reopened.
The National Drought Group has declared what it calls a nationally significant situation. 5 areas in England are in official drought, stretching from the northwest through Yorkshire and down to the Midlands. Most other areas are enduring prolonged dry weather.
The drought caused record low levels in reservoirs that feed the canals. And so many locks across the network were padlocked shut, as the canals were unnavigable. We and hundreds of other boaters have been waiting since August for this update from the Canal and River Trust, finally confirming that they'll be opening the locks for 1 week only on our stretch of the South Oxford Canal between Ainhoe Weir and Claydon Locks, and everyone could finally be on the move again. But as predicted, there were long queues at the locks. We were 13th in the queue for that very first lock to open. It proved to be one of those days where boaters really came together with that great boating camaraderie, helping each other through the locks and lending a hand when someone got stuck. The edges were very shallow and there was a lot of running aground when boats were trying to pass each other. That's the first lock done within an hour of them opening the lock. So we are now at Nell's Lock, and there's a bit of a boat jam going on here. First boat we've seen coming in the opposite direction. There's a boat coming down, so we're trying to get out of the way so that they can get through. The boat that's just come out of the lock is stuck at the moment. It's really shallow and we're all just trying to do our best to help everybody.
Yeah, how about you guys? Are you free at the back?
Yeah, I think we're alright.
Everybody really is helping everybody out. It's just a real team effort to get us all moving in the right direction again. We've run aground again. There was a boat passing us, so we moved over and run aground. We're scraping along, aren't we?
Yeah. I thought we were going to be there a while. Anyway, we got off.
Just approaching the queue for King's Sutton Lock now. Starting to see more boats coming down the other way too. So we are at Twyford and we're going to stop here for the evening and then carry on tomorrow. With the long queues building up at each lock, we decided the best thing we could do was stop for the day and get up early the next morning to continue our journey, hoping that everybody else didn't have the same idea. We're in book 1 of the Nicholson's guides. These are the map books we use to navigate while we're cruising. On day 1 of the reopening, we left our mooring at Ainhoe Wharf, through Ainhoe Weir Lock, Nell Bridge Lock and King's Sutton Lock, before we decided to stop for the day at Twyford Wharf. Then early the next morning we continued our journey north, over the Page, and on through Banbury. We had 6 locks to do in that second day before we reached our final destination, and we were hoping that our decision to start early would mean far shorter queues at each lock. For all sorts of reasons, our final destination for this winter is Cropredy Marina, just north of Banbury.
So we got a massively squeaky tiller this morning. I've just sprayed it with some silicone spray, but I think it's because when we went stern into the bank yesterday, our rudder ran aground, and I think it's maybe been pushed up in the socket. So anyway, hopefully it's going to settle. It sounds a bit better now, but it was dreadful when we first pulled off. Hopefully the spray will do the job, so fingers crossed.
First lock of the day, Grant's Lock. This was a great start as there were no other boats waiting. And the water levels weren't looking too bad either. This is the first boat we've seen coming the other way this morning. We were lucky again at Banbury Lock, meeting a boat coming down as we were just approaching. Castle Quay in the heart of Banbury was surprisingly quiet, with hardly any boats on the visitor moorings, compared to how busy it was back in June when we came through. This house just on the outskirts of Banbury always fascinates us when we go past, with the huge photo on the side. We wonder if it's the owners. If anyone knows, can you please let us know in the comments and satisfy our curiosity. And luck was still in our favour at Hardwick Lock, with still no boats waiting. There's a boat coming just as we're coming out the lock. That's excellent timing. Just coming up to Borton Lock, and there is a boat just coming out of the lock, so that is perfect timing. And we're doing our best not to run aground. It's quite shallow when you move over to let another boat pass. So this is Hamish, the Scotty, who's such a handsome boy, aren't you? Hey? And just sits there perfectly. Aren't you, posing for a photo? He's a lovely boy. Hamish was off the boat waiting to come down the lock, and was such a lovely friendly boy.
We're on the final page.
Woohoo!
We're nearly there. Look at the rest of that's all our cruising for the rest of the year. And some of next year.
That's a weird feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
This was our 5th lock of the day and the first queue that we encountered, so our plan to get up early really had worked. Seeing the padlocks waiting to be put back onto the lock gates was a real reminder of how lucky we were to have almost finished our journey before they closed this stretch again.
Well, we're just coming into Cropredy. We've got our last lock of the day. Last lock of the year, actually, isn't it? Seems
could
a bit
be.
odd. It's still October.
Could be our last lock of the year of
Yeah.
2025. And what a year it's been.
It has been a mad year, hasn't it? You couldn't write it, really.
Couldn't write it.
So, yeah, it's been interesting. Just ready to get tied up. And,
We are. Relax a little.
Yeah.
Just coming up to Cropredy Lock now. And we can see our friend Jill there waiting on the bridge for us. Hamish was still sleeping, but Poppy was up the back as usual, keeping an eye on things. Pop, we're nearly there. You're going to see Angus and Isla soon, aren't you? So last lock of the day, and this is the first problem. It's a very, very leaky lock. And it's hard to get it to level. Last lock of the year. She loves her Auntie Jill. So here we are at our winter home. We've booked into a marina. We said we were never going to do it again, but here we are doing it. After just 7 weeks on our boat, we spent our first winter in Braunston Marina, back in 2021. We took quite a few out and back trips while we were there, as we really felt a bit hemmed in. And we very quickly realised that we could have actually survived out on the cut, but we were just nervous new boaters back then. And now we've spent 2 fabulous winters on the Llangollen Canal. Seeing our favourite mooring at Blakemere in autumn and winter. The winter videos that we've made have been some of our favourites. Showing what life really is like, living aboard out on the cut in winter.
Fully stopped.
Being frozen in. Making great friends and fabulous memories.
I did better last time.
No, we've got 3/4 already. Do you want to top it up a little bit more, Pete? But this year, the stability of a marina is what works best for us right now, for quite a few reasons. We're quite central to be close to family. Our old boy Hamish can get familiar with one spot, which can help with his dementia. And we've got the car close by whenever we need it. We're turning right over here into Swan Basin. And Jill's going to be our next door neighbour for the winter, which is perfect. This is the Westie jetty. Her two Westies and our two Westies. We'd had a lovely time travelling with Jill over the summer, and all the Westies became the best of friends.
It's Angus and Isla. Oh, hello.
Good dogs. Hello, everybody. Dogs.
There we go.
There we are. I told you it was a perfect place for 4 Westies.
We knew they'd have the best winter together too. And just a few days after our arrival at the marina, we got the official notification from the Canal and River Trust confirming that the canal would be closed again, 1 week after opening. And it was sad to see the padlocks go back on the lock gates again. We were so relieved that we'd managed to get where we needed to be for winter. But things took a very sad turn for us very quickly. And we've had to change the ending of this video. And instead of chatting about all of our plans for the winter, we're having to say goodbye to our old boy, Hamish. He deteriorated so quickly after we arrived at the marina, struggling to walk or hold his head up. So we had to make that final decision that no pet owner ever wants to make. We never imagined this would be his last cruise, and we'll end now with a look back at his wonderful 16 years with us. Hamish joined our family when he was just 7 months old, in need of a home after his first family moved away and chose not to take him with them. He and our other Westie Jasper became the best of friends. And when the boys were 11 and 13, crazy little Poppy joined our family. And Hamish was the best and most patient big brother. Then a year later, we moved back to the UK and their boat dog adventure began. What's to get off? Want to come and explore? Come on then. But even though he loved to explore, Hamish was never a fan of muddy towpaths. Go on. I know it's muddy, but you need to get back on the boat. Come on, let's go. Hamish just took himself off for a little wander along the towpath, and I didn't realise. But he's back now. Is it time for breakfast? Do you want your breakfast now? It's your birthday. Are you 14 now? You're a lovely old boy, aren't you, eh? And when he slowed down as he got older, he still loved our adventures. And through our videos, he had so many fans all across the world. You want to go down, boy? You're going to want to come back up in 2 seconds, I bet. are you going to go now? On your bed or by your dad's feet in the way? Hamish, you're still in the way, aren't you, boy?
He is.